Good game. Good game. Good game. Good game.
Good
Let's
game.
get some orange.
Where are the oranges?
Welcome to amorephillyunion, where we have reached the century mark, but don't look a day over 25. We are your hosts. I'm C.
I'm E.
And I'm Paul.
So with that, happy 100 episodes, guys.
100 episodes.
That is ridiculous.
100.
I can't believe it's been 100, but here we are.
We are. If we were a Roman numeral, we would be C. I'll put in a bunch of laugh track at this point.
Laugh.
Murmur of agreement.
So we thought this might be a good time to reintroduce ourselves to anybody who has not been here since day one, which is probably any of you. Where to start? So basically, we are 3 fans. We actually think of this as a little bit more of a fan cast, I guess. At least I do.
Yeah, we're not trying to pass ourselves off as news people. No, please do not come here for news.
No.
Talk about the games. We talk about the team, but it's very much with a total Philly centric, rose-colored glasses.
Exactly. So, just basically we started this. It was really Paul. I will give all the credit to Paul.
Paul.
I was just the snowball rolling downhill.
Well, as you often are, you're the impetus who's like, let's just do this thing if we're going to do it. We've been talking about it, so we did jokingly talked about it for quite a few years. We've been with season ticket holders again, thanks to Paul, since really day one of season ticket holding. Being a thing. And we share those season tickets, but yeah, so I've been going to the matches for years. Paul and Eric are brothers. I am married to E. So that's how we
chose to be part of this.
Yeah. So, that should answer a lot of questions about some of the things I say, but yeah, so I don't know if you guys have anything more to add to that short reintroduction. But
no, I mean, I think you covered it. We talked about doing a podcast for a while, and this is kind of our way to keep in touch each week of the season and a little beyond, talking about the union. And then backstage, before and after the production, we do catch up on other things that aren't union related, but it's definitely about, we love this team. We really enjoy the games, and we want to be able to talk to people about it. And we thought people might want to listen in.
Exactly.
And if not, we were going to do it anyway. So
pretty much. Exactly. And here we are, 100 episodes later.
Whether you like it or not, we're here.
Right. The only real difference between this and before our podcast is it's now recorded for posterity's sake, and we're bringing other people in.
Pretty much. So, some cultures believe in lucky days, lucky number days, that kind of thing. I would like to think that today is an auspicious day to be recording our 100th episode, as it is one Mr. Alejandro Bejoya's birthday.
Happy birthday!
So happy birthday, dear Allie. Happy birthday to you. So that's mostly me. I mean, I get to you guys too, but I definitely carry the Allie torch high, and I'm
that was a little bit of Marilyn Monroe and Jack Kennedy right there. I'm not sure. Maybe you need to go send him a message on social media.
The words of Marilyn Monroe pronounced more like John Kennedy.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. So one new thing for our 100th episode is we do have an online store now.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have been alluding to it for about 99 episodes, I think.
Right.
And finally figured out how to do it without giving away like half our personal information or something else going sideways. And so we do have that. That will be anywhere our information is.
Yeah, we just got to figure out how to marry this to the other,
Yeah,
internet.
definitely in our bios. We have our link trees in our bios for our socials. So that's one great place. Also at our website, amorephillyunion.com. We'll figure out how to get it on there. But yes, we have an online store with just goofiness in there to brighten your day. So if you feel like joining in on that kind of fun, please do. We just enjoy making these goofy little things, and
they're just fun little tchotchkes. And we'll be adding more to it. We just kind of a couple little inaugural pieces up there, but I definitely know there's going to be some. We got one T-shirt up there. We definitely have more in the works. So, so check back, check often.
New stuff all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I almost feel like we should do or out in public, and I don't know if you're sporting the Amorephilly Union swag and you post it. I don't know. Maybe we'll. It's a very poorly
show us your Amorephilly Union swag in the wild. And we will share it to our account happily. And we'll come back to the 100th episode-ness of this episode later, but I did want to just say a quick thank you to everyone who does listen and who does reach out. We have always wanted this to be a pod about uniting fans, sometimes even fans of other clubs, as we've had St. Louis fans and Red Bulls fans even. And we really enjoy getting to meet people and talk about our favorite, as I have decided to call it, avoidance of responsibility, which is following soccer. So really thank you.
Tagline. I think that's our new mug.
Look for it soon. But we really do enjoy hearing from you. It really kind of makes our day when we get to have conversations and from anyone around the Unionverse. So please reach out. Instagram is my favorite platform, and as unofficial social media manager, that's probably where you'll find me easiest.
Pretty
I think it's
official.
official.
Okay. Official social media manager. But yeah, just please reach out. And once again, thank you to everyone who has listened to this, past, present, future.
Yeah,
thank you.
So,
I just want to echo that. Thanks. Again, this just started as a fun weekly excuse to talk soccer. Maybe bring in some people, all that, or bring people into the conversation. And this has definitely snowballed into something I was not expecting. And I'm sure I'm just going to repeat a lot of things Christy said, but it's been a lot of fun, especially these past 2 seasons, just connecting with more people. And, you just feel like you're a part of the bigger picture, like as we call it, the Unionverse. And I'm very excited to see where the next 100 episodes will bring us. So thank you, everybody. Very, very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, I'll jump on that as well. So thanks for everybody. Just sitting here thinking about 100 episodes reminds me years back, my wife was watching some Korean soap opera, and they talked, some couple of those together, and they recognized their 1,000th day together, which then, I was thinking that, that's kind of a big moment for them. And it was, this is a big moment for us. And, I wonder where we'll be at 200 episodes, or, where this might take us. We don't have any plans for ending it anytime soon. It's not like one of those, 300 episode Korean dramas. So, but you never know where we'll end up. It's certainly taken us some places that I didn't expect. And we've gotten to talk with some great people and talk about some great happenings. So thank you for everybody who started with us from the beginning. If you're still listening, thank you. If you've just joined in and this is your first episode, welcome. We hope you pull up a chair and enjoy the chat.
Well said.
All right. Well, shall we get to what we
air quotes
do best? And
let's earn our paycheck, folks.
Yep. So, the game, Union versus DC at home. Just gonna jump right in. 3-0 win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-0 win. Confidence was middling. Did a little brief poll before the game,
Yeah.
and
What were the numbers looking?
oh shoot, percentages. Uh,
Well, Lukic was out for a red card.
right,
Gazdag is gone. We weren't sure who was going to be up front. I mean, at least with Blake in net and Glesnes, working with somebody on the back line, we were somewhat secure on the defense, although we didn't know who the other center defender was going to be because
right.
Glavinovic is injured.
Uh-huh.
And so, yeah, I can understand why there was a little bit of anxiety about the result in this one.
So nobody actually thought that was looking at a loss. Or
Really?
thinking
Oh,
nobody. I'm surprised. So, but we had 60% for win, 40% for draw. So
Okay.
confidence was low. Because if you look at the records again, on paper, we should have had this on
Right.
paper.
but
Right.
60% said we were going to win.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So, but that's why I said it was middling because, 40% draw against this team on paper is to me not exactly a huge vote of confidence.
yeah.
But
But it
but
wasn't total Negadelphia.
no, they leave that for me. So um but no, I wasn't even Negadelphiing this. I thought hopefully, maybe. I don't know. So
Well, I will say that when we got there and we saw that Benteke was not playing, I wasn't aware that he was injured or anything like
Yeah, I
that.
didn't
So
know that
right,
either.
I thought that certainly boded well for the Union
Hmm.
to
right.
have one less weapon on the field for DC United was a good thing.
And that's what one of the first things Eric said when we started watching it too. He was
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, no Benteke.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great." I mean, with respect, but yeah, good for us.
Well, I mean, that's why it was a good thing because we do respect his abilities and
Correct.
it was going to make the game a little bit easier for the Union for them not to have to play against him.
Exactly.
I will say that DC United usually travels fairly well,
Hmm.
being, not that far away.
Right.
This year, this game, not so many fans turned up for this one. I mean, they
Yeah.
had two or three full rows at the very top of the visitors section, and they had some banners and some drums, and there were some other DC United fans spread around the stadium. But yeah, on the whole, it was kind of a quiet showing, which makes some sense since DC has been struggling the
Yeah.
last few
Yeah, I
years,
wonder.
even
Yeah.
with Benteke.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, we want to jump in the starting lineup. Blake was once again in net. Glesnes and who was the other center defender? Was that Harriel? And then they used like Wagner and Westfield. I think it's the outside backs.
Correct.
And then it center at defensive midfield, it was Danley, Jean-Jacques, and with our first start for the
Yeah.
year for Jesus Bueno.
Yeah, that was good to see.
Yeah, Choo getting a start, always
Hmm.
fun. And then Vasilev and Quinn Sullivan as the attacking midfielders, and it was Bora and Damiani up
Hmm.
top.
It's Baribo started.
Baribo,
Baribo. Yeah.
Baribo started. Yeah.
that's right. Damiani subbed in the second
Mhm.
half. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I will say this real quick too, in terms of the beginning of the game. The DC United kit color was the best way
Confusing.
I described it was they wore their white kits, but they ran them. Someone left a couple red socks in with the laundry when they washed it because it was this like weird, washed out, very pale
Sweaty
pinkish
white.
red. Yeah, I mean, I always appreciate trying to do a not typical, a not traditional color, but it was just kind of like, you know,
Did it come across as more pinkish? Like you said, it was red, like red or yellow?
sepia. I think it's like almost like a
Yeah.
reddish sepia.
If
Yeah,
they had soccer uniforms at the old-timey photo places at the
exactly.
shore, it would be these.
Exactly.
Yeah, it looked
Because
like
it
they
definitely
they
gave us sepia.
it looked like they had been white and then used a ton and washed and washed and
Yeah.
washed. So they kind of had this yellowish tinge to them.
Hmm.
And I mean, like you said, I appreciate them trying for something different, but I don't think that was a good call.
No.
Well,
Kind of reminds me of like the Phillies classic whitish, jerseys that they're kind of that off-white, that yellow white, which again just makes me think of really old stuff that you've sweat in a lot and washed a lot, and it's just kind of stained yellowish. Um, yeah, exactly.
well,
They
and
look
they
What
were
like
you're
teenage
feeling right there
boys.
as I describe that, that's kind of how I feel.
yeah. Lovely. Seemingly bearing no relationship to anything. But yeah, so real quick before we get super into the
Yeah.
game, drum at the beginning was very cute. I only saw it in retrospect, but they had the kids of the Union players because it was Kids Day. They had the kids with the Union players banging the drum, so it was really uh, uh, Blake's oldest boy
Awesome.
was did the actual mallet, but then they had the other kids out there and announced all their first names. Um, and they were all sort of standing there holding the little flags and stuff
That's
in
cool.
their jerseys that say, Daddy or something like
Oh,
that. So it was very cute. But yeah.
and then the
But
rain started.
yeah, I didn't
Yes.
realize it was raining down there until you sent us the photo.
Oh man, it was bad. Like so
Yeah.
the game kicked off, it had been drizzling, and then it just started pouring. So much so that people were leaving the stands and going under the concourse to
Yeah. We
Yeah, I
could
saw
see it
seek
on the
that.
cover.
TV.
Nate and I didn't. We just went up about 20 rows and found a spot that was dry enough.
Yep, that works
But
nicely.
I did take a picture because at one point you could not see the Delaware River. It was coming down so hard.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked
'Cause
pretty hazy, foggy. That's not the right word, but there's a high moisture concentration in the atmosphere.
yeah,
It really kind of, um, yeah,
didn't
occluded the
last,
view.
but still.
I was curious. I was wondering because there was the report the forecast said scattered thunderstorms, and so
Right.
I just kept one ear out for any sound of thunder
Hmm.
because we've all been to games that have had thunderstorm breaks, and I
Yeah.
was just really hoping that happened. Can I also say I loved the 4:30 starting time. That
Yeah.
was so awesome. You have lunch, you hang around for a bit, you go down to the game, you watch the game, you come home, have dinner.
Hmm.
It was really well
Yeah.
timed. I really appreciated the 4:30 time start time.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if they did that for a game we went to as well.
Spoken like a grown-up.
That's right.
In pajamas by 9,
That's right.
if not earlier. So anyway,
All right, well, let's jump into the game. I don't know. It kind of got exciting pretty quick. Glesnes gets a very uncharacteristic yellow card, um,
Yeah.
which is well, there was actually this is an interesting game for Glesnes. So he gets a yellow card, which is uncharacteristic, but then we don't have to wait very long, and the scoring opens up with Glesnes getting his obligatory annual goal,
Can I
which
just say
was
this was
a doozy.
beautiful. Like it gets better every time I rewatch this goal.
Like a
Um,
fine Norwegian wine, just gets better with age.
Absolutely.
just a hint of haddock.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, Westfield's crossed. I mean, both Sullivan, Quinn, and Glesnes are in the box. And I don't know what Glesnes said, but Sullivan, backs off of the play, and that volley. What made it amazing is one, he volleys it without a touch in the ground. I think he did it left-footed, and it arcs beautifully into the top far corner of the
Hmm.
goal. Like the keeper had no chance at this ball,
Mm-mm.
and Glesnes, it's got enough power to hit that corner, but it does loop a little bit, so there is a good amount of control. And
Hmm.
I'm not sure that he hit it left-footed, but it would have been the crossbody hit. It's amazing.
Do you think this was part of the apology tour for last season's
Yeah, right.
double? I don't. I'm just teasing. And if you ever hear this, Mr. Glesnes, I'm just teasing.
No,
But
I don't think, I mean, he
no.
just surprisingly made a great touch on this ball, and it was completely purposeful. He knew where he
Yeah.
wanted to put it. It's very clear that that's what he had intended to do. Westfield makes a great cross into the box
Hmm.
and gets a very well-deserved assist. And yeah, Glesnes should he hit it with he's done it with power, and now this one is doing it with finesse.
Bears a bit of a relationship to our beloved and no longer with the team Martinez in that way that when he connects, he can really connect. I mean, it's two different body types, two different styles, but really makes an impact when everything comes together.
Swedish or Norwegian samba.
I'm always surprised that there isn't sort of a flaming hole in the back of the net when he gets a goal because it just feels like it's just going to keep going.
Like
Maybe
Isaac
through the six.
McAdoo with the penalty kick in the last season of Lasso.
Yeah, yeah,
That is a
exactly.
more contemporary reference. I was gonna put more cards on the table, right? Because I think Chrissy said mine's reminds her of the scene in Real Genius when they shoot the laser and it just shoots holes all the way across the campus.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the equivalent of a Glesnes goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that goal was wonderful. It was great to
Mhm.
get excited and there were a lot there for I don't know if it was because of kids' days, but there was a lot of kids around
Right.
us in the
Mhm.
stadium. So there were lots of high fives going around. It would turn into a party very quickly.
I don't doubt it for a second.
And I feel like too by this point, I feel like the rain was starting to taper off. It really only
Yes.
was kind of in the beginning. Yeah.
It was funny how quickly that seemed to happen, at least
Yeah.
from the couch at home.
But I do remember the replay too, the DC keeper just standing there watching the ball go in. It's like
Mhm.
you can't do anything at that point.
No,
Yep.
nor is it likely safe to try. But
So
Well,
Vasilev, it appears, was credited with the second assist on that play.
all
So he
right.
passed it to
interesting.
Westfield, who hit it and made the
Okay.
cross.
So that took us, that was the first and only goal of the first half.
Hmm.
And so that took us into that to the half 1-0. And then coming out of that half, or excuse me, coming out of halftime, in the 52nd minute,
Which
we
I
had
think technically still counts as part of the takeoff and landing time of a half.
yeah,
7
I think
minutes.
7 minutes. I feel like it's like a 10-minute window. So I think as
yeah,
long as yeah,
yeah, I would
Thought we had
say,
established 8 minutes as that takeoff and
oh, did
landing.
we?
there you
I
go.
was gonna say we should establish that, but yes, still within.
Yeah, still within takeoff time.
Stanley Jean-Jacques, with the assist from Quinn. Don't stop him now because that's his second MLS goal in
In two
two
games.
games.
Yeah,
So
Uribe, look
keep him
out.
coming. And I love the blowing kisses is just adorable to the audience. It really is. Looking like a hard man and then blowing kisses. It's such a nice
Did he?
combo.
I don't even think he tried to look
He
hard.
didn't. Actually, this one he didn't. You're right.
No,
It was just blowing kisses.
he was just
But
too happy.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I mean, the whole sequence of this goal was just so pretty. I mean, he nutmegged the one DC defender and
Yeah.
cut toward the middle. And I remember just watching it. You could just it's like watching a cat getting ready to pounce, right? You see all the muscles starting to twitch and the body kind of positioning itself to like, spring onto whatever. And you could just see he's just moving the ball, moving the ball, moving the ball. He's trying to find, I just need a sliver of a window open. I'm taking this shot.
mhm.
And yeah, and man, what a shot that was.
That was gorgeous. Put it off
And
one of the uprights, if I remember right.
Yeah, right on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think if you went like another like centimeter, to the right, it would have just ricocheted out of the net.
And I had the hardest time. Everybody was talking about the nutmeg. I was having the hardest time seeing it. I mean, again, that was one that we watched a few times. But I finally saw it today from a different angle, and I realized just how much finesse there was to that. So keep it up, Danley.
Absolutely.
I
Keep it up. We're loving to see it.
I was even thinking like, this attacking midfielder and all that. I realized, oh my gosh, I've been pronouncing God's dog wrong this whole time. It's pronounced Jean-Jacques.
Well, as long as our defensive midfielders just keep taking their shots from outside the box like that, keep
Mhm.
it up. They're doing a great job.
Yeah. I like these long range attacks, you know.
Mhm. And then in the 77th minute, to really seal it up, Damiani with a full-grown man hanging off of his waist, uh,
Seriously.
and an unfortunate haircut, managed to score.
Yeah,
Who
on
had the
both of them.
unfortunate haircut? Damiani
They
or the
may
guy
have
hanging
both.
off of
I
him?
all I could see was Damiani, and that was I'm not sure what happened there, but apparently that's part of what our record signing went to. It was that haircut. But I kid, Mr. Damiani.
Honestly, I
Um,
feel like we could have like a whole segment on an episode about this weird hockey mullet haircut thing. That's just, you know,
that's gonna be my side pod is soccer fashion,
yeah.
because it's a deep well. It could
Hey,
really
throw a line out to Jim Curtin. He might join you.
he might he might. So that was pretty remarkable how he just stuck to his guns, and that
Yeah.
was an assist from Ua on that one. So good for
Ura and
him.
Glesnes, both
Yeah.
according to Philly Soccer Page, both got assists on
Mhm.
that one. Yeah, and on this one in particular, this was just out muscling with a great turn
Yeah.
and a well done finish
Yeah.
from Damiani. And just to remind everybody, Damiani did not start this. He came on with Kevin Sullivan in the
Mhm.
62nd minute as Baribo and Bueno went off. And so it was at that point it was Damiani and Ora up top, and it was Glesnes defeating the Ora getting it down to Damiani, and Damiani just not letting that
Yeah.
defender outwork him for that ball, and then finishing clinically and just beating the keeper from like 8 or 10 yards out.
Yeah. I mean, dare I say that Damiani looked a little messy-ish. The way he fought through a defender did not go down, where I think a lot of other soccer players would use that opportunity to go down and maybe get the
Mhm.
PK.
Yeah,
Like you said, Chrissy, this adult man hanging off of his waist. Um, yeah, just to muscle through and just get that shot, get the goal, and and finally, right, open his account.
I was
I
right.
thinking like Wayne Rooney, kind of that fire plug, just I'm not falling over, you're not
yeah.
pushing me off this ball.
Yep.
Look, Christy.
No, I just wanted to say Damiani did score earlier this season. This is not his
Really?
first
I
goal.
thought this was his
Hmm.
first goal.
No, no, yeah,
Um,
yeah, he had another goal earlier.
Oh,
It was
but it
okay.
was very, very early.
Oh, okay.
Well, like very early. It was quite a few games ago. So,
Okay.
I-
Well,
um,
it was like his first or second time on the field for the Union, if I
yeah,
remember right.
maybe that's
yeah,
what
it
it was.
was.
Because the way the
I
announcers
couldn't
were
tell you which
talking,
one.
it sounded like he finally got that goal. It's like,
I think they said something like first goal
okay, all right.
Either way, it
since
was a
their game.
well done goal. It was nice to see him showing some strength and some fortitude
Yeah,
and just making something out of that opportunity.
Exactly.
yeah,
And this was probably the most time Kevin saw in a game. He got about a half an hour out there.
yeah.
I don't know that he's
Yeah,
had many
they
games
subbed
where
him
he's
in.
gone that long for the Union. Obviously, for you
Right.
too, he plays all the
Yeah,
time, but
you're absolutely right. They substituted him in the 62nd minute. So,
he's definitely getting a wake up call that, especially in these rivalry games
hmm
against teams that just don't like the Union, he's
hmm
going to get a lot more body work. They're going to push him a lot more.
hmm
Hmm.
I will say that there were some plays where some of the one of the DC midfielders in particular, I don't remember their name, just seemed like anytime anybody got close to him, he was going down and somehow or another getting convincing the referee to give him a free kick. It was very frustrating, but
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it didn't make a difference because they had what, three shots that really seemed to threaten Blake,
Hmm.
but Blake was either exactly where he needed to be or he made enough of the play to stop it. And this was, from what I understand, his 80th MLS game shutout, which
Wow.
puts him like I remember hearing some stats like he reached this 80 mark, 80 shutouts in like 260 games in MLS. So that's like basically one out of every three games he gets a shutout.
Yeah, and this guy, I mean,
I know.
if there's ever a poster child for like the defense wins games or wins championships, it's going to be Andre Blake.
Him and Martin Brodeur. Yeah. Sorry, that's a hockey reference.
No.
Yeah, that was one of those
It's a
situations
crossover.
where those two are staring at me like,
Gesundheit.
But anybody who was following hockey in the 90s is like, freaking Brodeur.
Oh man. Well, I will say, since we did have to watch on delay this weekend, I did not get the joy of listening to
Yeah, that's
Dave Leno, which is now my new favorite thing. And once again to complain just a little about Apple announcers. There were so many variations on Wagner's name, none of them correct.
Galen Carr.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wagner.
He kept saying
Wagner.
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 And while I appreciate the pronouncing the W in the more proper German, you gotta get the vowel right then. Like if you're not gonna do the whole thing right, then just stick with the anglicized version.
A minimum of research.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think I said it before that Dave puts up, like he does the old school Arlo White style. I don't know who, someone else started it besides any of these people, but where the names are written out phonetically.
Yeah.
Is it too much to ask? You have Apple devices. I'm sure there's some great thing that you can do there to have, ooh-ah written out as if Al Pacino is saying it. So Wagner shouldn't be too far behind. But anyway, one more reason why we enjoy listening to Dave Leno.
And again, as Union fans, we are spoiled by our broadcast teams.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Leno is quality.
Yeah. I mean, Twellman started with us. Danny Higginbottom. I mean,
Moreno.
We had JP. I mean,
We
that
had
was
the
just
entirety
yeah.
of our
had the
podcast.
goat.
We are very much spoiled in that department. And just echo the sentiment. I felt the same. It's just kind of like I enjoyed the game. Look, I like Galen Carr. I'm just busting on a little bit for the odd pronunciation of Wagner. But I remember just watching, it's like, yeah, but it's not Dave Leno, It's
it wasn't as epic as Gas Dog either. So
Gas Dog. That was a shit.
That was Shep Messing.
And I like Shep Messing. I don't know. He's kind of like the I don't know. He's like an older fun uncle. It's just kind of like, oh.
The Shep Messing thing felt like he just didn't care. It was just like I name him now, and his name is Gas Dog, and that's all there is to it. But we get a big win.
Yeah,
yes.
We get Glesnes banging the drum at the end.
Yep.
Surprise, there still is one.
It's just now in parking lot B.
Yeah. I had to retrieve it.
Good thing it wasn't facing the river when he hit it.
Yeah, exactly. And two of our players get team of the match day. We've got Glesnes as a starter, and Blake on the bench just feels like baby in the corner, doesn't it?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
I think it's almost like, we keep giving it to the same guy. We got to let somebody else get in there. And they're like, Blake, would you mind if Timmy just got a chance to be the goalkeeper of the week? You've already had it so many times. I think it's important you need to share.
I'm actually surprised like Danley didn't get another time, but they don't typically they go for more goal scorers. I mean, he got one this week, but that's I guess not as big as some of the other midfielder contributions. No, that's good. But I'm glad for Glesnes. It'll be interesting with Lukic back next week. Now it looks like we could actually see some rotation there on the defensive midfield. Let Bueno step in from a game to game as needed. But you can't really sit Danley at this point. He's got the hot foot.
Yeah. We all need someone to blow kisses at us. So got to keep them in the game.
Very endearing.
Oh yeah, I think it's awesome.
So now we are in third place with 19 points, 6 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw.
Yeah, and this Eastern Conference tables is to totally rip off the old saying. It's packed tighter than an Arsenal jersey. Um, yeah, I mean, Cincinnati's
And the East is tough this year. It seems
Yeah.
like they have a lot of teams playing very well in the East.
yeah. I
And we
mean,
did move.
go ahead, Christy.
We did move from third to second highest goal differential for the
Ooh.
league. So
Nice.
we are only behind Vancouver, who is in first place in the Western
Yeah.
Conference.
Do you happen to remember how far behind Vancouver are?
3.
3 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13. Yeah. Um, the top 5 teams in the East are it's only a 4-point spread. Whereas if you look in like the West, um, basically Vancouver has 23 points, Portland 18, and then Austin is 16. I mean, so it's I mean, Vancouver is kind of running away with it right now, but yeah, it's got to be interesting to see how the East plays
And
out
we're
as the season goes on.
10 games out of a 34-game season. So
Yeah.
could be interesting.
Yeah, we're about a third of the way through, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Roughly. Man,
Roughly.
this is going fast.
And Baribo somehow still tied for Golden Boot.
Hey.
That's awesome.
Oh, he's tied right now.
He's tied, now with Hugo Kuipers from, I
Vancouver.
believe, Chicago Fire.
Oh, Chicago. All right.
So if I'm wrong about that, forgive me. But I did get the pronunciation right because I did look that up.
There
I
you
had
Good for
no
you.
idea.
You probably wrote it down phonetically too.
You did. I can see it in the notes.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Taking a page out of Dave Leno's
Yeah,
playbook.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
and meanwhile, Quinn Sullivan tied for first with
Wow.
for assists with 6 assists, and
Wow.
Wagner still tied for third with 4. So, and just a fun fact: the Union is tied for 4th in discipline.
Nice.
I don't know if
Yep.
I should be happy or disappointed by that.
So
Who
we're
are we
tied.
behind?
Behind, I don't know. I know who we're tied with, and you'll be happy to know we are tied with STL. So there's that. Timbers and DC, and I don't have it up in front of me, so I'm not sure who we're behind. I should have kept it open, but I did not. So I just found that stat today, and I'm gonna be checking that in the regular. At first I didn't see us. I thought, oh wow, are we actually really low? And then, oh no, we're tied for 4th. That tracks.
Yeah. We do have a rep to
So we still
uphold.
have time to make a push for that one.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's I mean, it's a shame we don't have Martinez for that anymore, but
Although I realize Glesnes, it's like the EGOT of soccer games where he got a goal, he got an assist, and he got a yellow card. I feel like if you just got the what would be the 4th one? A red card? I don't know. Just check all the boxes in one game.
Earn a penalty kick for your team.
A PK, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's the next assignment. What is the EGOT for soccer?
Yeah, what is the EGOT for
And
a
just in
soccer
case
game?
anybody doesn't know, EGOT means someone who won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Yeah.
So, what qualifies as getting all the laurels?
Yeah.
So our next match is against Montreal on the road this Saturday at the more typical 7:30 p.m. And Montreal at the bottom of the East in 15th place with the same record as last year's champions, the LA Galaxy, which is hard to believe. 3 points for the season, no wins, 7 losses, 3 draws.
Wow.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Well, looking at the numbers, at least Montreal's goal differential is not as negative as LA's. Vancouver has a -10. LA has a -12.
Poor Montreal.
I mean, what is going on with LA? I almost feel bad for them.
It's wild. It's wild. I did not pay attention to what happened to the team after they won last year.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if it's they have a bunch of injuries, if they sold off a bunch of people. It tends to happen sometimes. I really don't know.
I don't know.
And it's not a Galaxy podcast, so I guess it's okay that I don't know. But yeah, it's wild. This has to be the all-time like worst start for a
I think it
previous
might
year's
be.
champion at this point. It has
Yeah.
to. I mean, they were saying that fairly early on when we
Yeah.
were watching one of their matches against St. Louis. So
Yeah, I think because they lost their first 3 games, and I think that set a record.
yeah,
It's the only time a returning
MLS Cup.
champion lost their first 3 games. Yeah.
if that's a record, there has to be another one in there too.
I'm sure they're
So
they're blazing new territory.
yeah,
Well, we gotta like the Union's chance against Montreal.
Oh
exactly.
yeah.
And it seems like a good time to be going up to Canada. It's you know, it's outside this. I doubt that there's going to be snow on the ground at this point.
Yeah.
Not likely.
Quebec, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not impossible.
But I think Montreal is far enough south.
Yeah.
Those should be fine.
Yeah, but this definitely strikes me as another one of the games, kind of like DC. It's kind of like we really need to win this in the sense of, we are facing a team that's not doing well, it's doing pretty poor right now, and we got to capitalize on it. Unfortunately, I think this happened a few times last season where teams began their turnaround by beating us.
Yeah.
So hopefully that holds off for a little while and we get another easy, air quotes, easy 3 points. So that would be good.
Of all the potential on paper wins, this is the one that should translate to reality most easily.
You only want to be easier if we were playing the LA Galaxy.
I would certainly put money on it for the Union to win out of this one.
So what are you guys hoping to see in this game? I mean, I guess we're indirectly spelling it out, but what do you think?
Well, actually, one thing that I was encouraged by in the last in Saturday's match was that they weren't just trying to do the same thing like it seemed like they had been doing before. Those were different people. Danley had scored in the previous game, but different people scoring, different things happening, and not just kick it to Quentin, who will try to find Ty, which I know is a gross oversimplification, but still, that was what it was looking like for a few matches there, and I was really encouraged to see other people getting in there and getting chances. Now, whether that was because we were playing DC, I don't know, but it does mean that we're capable of doing other things somehow. So I would love to see more of that because I think it would build not just my confidence, but probably their confidence that they can all have an opportunity to get in there and do something. I mean, I know there's a lot going on besides scoring in any game, but I would love to see that continue where it's not one or two people who are doing all the scoring.
Spreading it around is always wise. I mean, that way the teams can't focus on any one or two or three players. Getting more and more of your team involved in the attack. I mean, heck, even Glesnes scored a goal in this one, and Jacques did. The two defensive players. One on the defensive line, one at the defensive midfielder. I would say Vasilev was better in the DC game, but I don't know if that's his peak normal operating or if there's another level for him to go to, but I would love to see that attacking midfield combination step a little higher and be a little more effective. If that's somebody else getting an opportunity to start instead of Vasilev, or Vasilev stepping up and just being more of a contributor in that final attack. I know early in the season, one of the frustrations between Lukic and Danley was every time Lukic got the ball, he was playing it forward. He was getting the ball up the field to the attacking midfielders or to a forward. Whereas Danley, it always felt like he was looking for the safe back pass to one of the defenders. It's gotten to a point now where Danley is definitely on the front foot, making those passes into the attack. So if we can get that second attacking midfielder to be there and really take advantage of those attacking opportunities, it spells good opportunities for the forwards to try to start scoring some goals. Hopefully Baribo gets back on the score sheet, but I would love to see Vasilev or whoever that second attacking midfielder is really get into the game. And I'm not saying that Vasilev's not starting. I don't know anything about that. I'm just saying that I would love to either see it from India or see it from whoever that is that's matched up with Quinn. Because I don't think Quinn's coming off the field anytime soon.
No.
How about you, Eve? And what are you looking for?
I was gonna say I did appreciate Indy's bit of sass that he gave one of the DC players during
Oh
the game
yeah.
where the ball went out of bounds, but the DC player was trying to like take it as their throw in, and he's just giving him like WTF look on his face. Um, but yeah, what I like to see, yeah, I like the idea of spreading it around, right? Like get more attacking options. So with that said, maybe I'll do a twofer. I want to see Indy kind of see if he can if there's another gear he can get into. And maybe get a goal. I mean, I like Baribo to get a goal just to kind of keep moving forward with the golden boot, but um, I don't
Tell
know.
Kuipers to sit down.
Um, but yeah, I like to. Honestly, I like to see Jean-Jacques score. I just like the way he plays in that center, that from the midfield, and still just pushing forward and getting these attacks.
You
So
want to see
I
some
don't
more
know.
kisses.
What's that?
You want some more kisses, is
I
what
want to see
you're
more
saying.
kisses. Um, I'll have to like I don't know, maybe put that on a t-shirt, put on in the store. Um, yeah, I want to see the win because I like to see us to capitalize on this opportunity with a underperforming team.
Right.
And so let's get some 3 points. And yeah, let's get Baribo and Jean-Jacques to get a goal. There we go.
Nice.
Well, in honor of our 100th episode, I have a bit of trivia, which is the way we celebrate all good things on this podcast.
We celebrate by
Uh,
asking questions.
we celebrate by questioning each other. And then, shall we go for it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it.
Easy one to start, guys. First homegrown in club history to reach 100 games.
100 games.
First homegrown to reach 100 games.
This just happened.
Really? Is Sullivan just reached 100 games?
I will say,
Yeah, I'll go with Sullivan.
yeah, I'll say Sullivan too.
You are right, Quinn Sullivan.
I wasn't
Boom.
sure. I didn't think Aronson was around long enough, so I wasn't sure if McGlynn did it before he left because I know he got more starts for a while. So, oh, good.
And to
All right.
keep in the spirit of trivia, it scores 1-1, Paul versus me. So
Okay, hold on. Paul E.
bring it.
All
I mean,
right.
do you really want to embarrass yourself like that, E?
Oh
Uh,
boy. Oh boy.
Sadly, if this is what it takes to embarrass me, then I'm not doing it right.
Gauntlet
Fair enough.
thrown. All right, well, try this one. In what year did Jim Curtin get his 100th regular season win?
I'm going to say 2015.
I'm gonna say now a regular season win, right? I want to
Regular
say
season win.
Wait. So when did he start his keep? I'm trying to backtrack. Wait, he was with us for
Gee,
10
I can
years.
tell
no.
you that if
You said 2015.
Ah,
That's
damn it.
He's not locked in.
Are we doing Prices Right rules, by the way? Is
Sweet
it
Jesus.
whoever's closest without going over?
Sure, we'll do
No.
prices right rules.
Go ahead, Paul. You can change yours. I'm still thinking.
All right, so
Do you want me to
I'm going to change that then. I'll say 2018.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 20. I want to say 2021, but I'm gonna say 2020. Just I want to keep it on the low side.
Final answer, 2022.
Oh,
You get that point.
okay.
Okay. So, what player most recently made his 100th appearance?
100
Appearance.
appearance, and not necessarily start, but
Not
appearance.
necessarily start.
I'm going to go with Aura.
That's a good guess.
5, 4.
Are you gonna pressure me now? Okay. I'm gonna just say it probably is Aura. I want to say
You can say the same thing if you want.
no, I won't say the same thing. Let's go I'm gonna say Sullivan.
You should have said the same thing because Paul's right. It's Uri.
Ah,
That was in the match before
yeah.
last. So,
I just remember
okay.
I was surprised how long Sullivan's been on the team. I'm sure he's past the 100. Did he? Or I don't know.
Sullivan, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not by a lot, but okay, this one, I will tell you how many. This is not including Aura when I say this. Current squad members with 100 or more appearances. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so let's pull up the roster. So
Mhm.
we're all looking at this.
So which players have 100 plus?
Yes.
And that's
Wait,
starts
not
or appearances.
appearances.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. Who's your first guess?
Okay, so 100 or more appearances. I'm gonna go with the easy one, Ali Bedoya.
Yep, that's an
Yeah.
easy one.
Okay, so that's one.
Take it off the plate, take it off the table. I'll take off Blake.
Yep.
Blake. Okay, that's two. I will say Glesnes.
Yes.
Okay.
All
All
right, that's
right.
three.
I will go with, let's see, we're getting down towards the lesser likelier ones, but I'm sure there's still, well, it's part of this game, Aura.
I to be fair, I did say not Aura
Not
for
Aura,
this.
then Wagner.
Okay.
And I'll say Wagner.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go Bizo.
Yes.
All right.
I'll go Quinn Sullivan.
And you got them all. Yes, indeed. Good job.
So I would say that's a point for each of us.
There we go. We'll go with that.
All right.
Yep. Okay. And then
I wasn't sure if who was what I was looking. Anyway, Harriel.
Harriel's the other one I had down here.
Yeah.
So
All right.
so there have been more than 100 players for the Union to date.
name them.
Yes. No. How many Union players have there been? We can say with or without keepers because I have both numbers.
Oh, just straight up. How many players have been?
How many players have had contracts with the Union from inception till now?
Does this count like what's his name? Silvestri, that one USL goalkeeper we gave a contract because we were like riddled with injuries.
I'll be honest, I don't know the individual names, but there were people who had like one appearance and that was it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So
And to
I
be
would say
honest,
yes.
you know, if I'm getting hung up on whether or not we had one goalkeeper
it feels like you're
signed or
stalling,
not,
if I'm honest.
yeah, I'm going to be
So-
way off regardless. One person difference is not going to make.
So
any
let's say with keepers, how many Union players have there been
played
to date?
for the Union.
Mhm.
Oh man.
I don't even know what is a reasonable guess here. So I'm just going to throw a number out and make Eric go higher or lower. So
So we're
I'm
we're
gonna-
going with the with keepers number just to be ultra.
Yep.
ultra
Okay.
clear.
So with
Okay.
keepers, I'll go 175.
This is like
Okay.
another episode of the new hit Amorephillyunion game, more or less. Okay, so one
More
you said
or less.
yeah. Are you
One
ready to
With
play?
keepers.
So Paul, you said 175?
That's right.
All right, let me just try to approach this like statistically. So there's roughly how many people on the squad right now?
25 to 30 each year.
25 to 30. So I should say on average 27. Maybe turnover each year is
Price is Right
maybe
rules.
yeah, okay.
Simply
I'm going to
must-
say fewer than 175. Is
So
this the
you're
last
going
question?
with the fewer. Pretty close.
Okay, I'll say fewer than 175.
Paul is 181.
Oh man!
Yeah. I was going to say 180, but I gave myself a cushion.
Oh wait, I got to
Remarkable
count
guess.
Silvestri though, so then that's going to bump my answer up to 176. Wow, good job, Paul.
So how many players all time have reached the 100 game mark for the Union?
Out of 181.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 7 on the team right now that have made the 100 game mark.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll guess first on this one, Paul, and you can go more or less.
More or less.
I'll guess. I'll say 50 players.
I'll go less.
Answer is 20.
God damn it.
I did not record their names, but
No, that's fine.
and then one last one. How many players have started 100 or more games for the Union?
Oh,
It should be,
well, we know it's no more than 20.
yeah,
so-
narrows the field a little bit.
I'm going to go with make this interesting for you, E. I'm going to go with 14.
Oh man, I was hoping just split it down the middle.
He's not
Uh,
going to do that.
I'm gonna say less than 14, fewer than 14.
The answer is 16.
God damn it.
Good game. I can take numbers out of the air like nobody's business.
And Paul is our winner.
Yeah, I
But
think
we
you
all
doubled
win,
me.
don't we?
We do. That was
We do.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for organizing that, C.
Sure.
So the final score on my book was 6-3. So
Yep.
good game, good game, good game,
Good game,
game.
good
Let's
game,
get
good
some
game,
orange,
good game.
orange
Where are the
slices.
oranges?
Yeah. So Christy, I knew you were working on this one, and I remember you saying like how hard it was to find historic statistical data on players. So where did you wind up finding all these? Like,
I actually have sources, and just in case you called me on anything,
yeah, I
I
mean,
have
do,
links for almost everything.
Nice.
But it just although I didn't really think you'd do that, but I also was just doubting myself. It's really hard because Wikipedia not at all up to date. The Union site not at all up to date
yeah,
on
right.
that.
Mhm.
They have, I think what they tend to do, to be fair to them, is put something up at the end of the year
Hmm.
with like that year stats, and then if there are any superlatives involved in the year, they add it there. But there's no comprehensive that I could find. There is no comprehensive list. I did find a pronunciation guide to all the
Nice.
players' last names where they all say what their last names are. It's a little recording of them, which I thought was super helpful. But so I was deep in the bowels of the website, but I could not find much there. Wikipedia, like I said, woefully out of date. And that's to be expected, I suppose. But unlike some other sports where things are documented within an inch of their life, it just goes to
Looking
show.
at you, baseball.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. Uh, I was just thinking how much that shows MLS is still up and coming. But yeah. So thanks for playing along, guys.
Yeah, thanks for making
Appreciate
that.
that.
Thanks for organizing it.
So speaking of trivia, let's get really trivial here. I was looking at some of our statistics over the past
Let's get trivial, trivial.
Man,
Stop
now I'm gonna have
dating
that
us,
song going
guys.
through
My
my head.
God.
Yeah. So we are over 5,000 downloads and stuff like that. So just kind of using that as a metric. So it should come as no surprise when you look at the downloads per state. The state that has the most downloads of our podcast is PA, overwhelming, right? But which
Surprised it's
state
not Missouri.
was that?
A little surprised it's not Missouri.
Um, which state has the second most downloads
New
for our
Jersey.
podcast? And I'll keep score. So Christy and Paul.
Oh, geez. It's trivia. Nobody told me.
Just been numbers. I'm no good with this.
I'm gonna go with Jersey. I'm
So
gonna say
Jersey from Christy,
I'm going with Virginia.
Virginia from Paul.
Mm,
Both incorrect.
okay.
It's Delaware. Delaware is our most, aside from PA, our most downloaded source of downloads.
Oh.
Jersey's in third. And then Virginia's in fourth.
No answer, no answer, no answer. Delaware, no answer. Oh, man.
So there's 7 states that we don't have a download in yet. You want to try to name those 7 states, and we can do the same thing. Paul, you can go first. See if you get a point.
Man. All right. Well, Alaska.
That is correct.
North Dakota.
That is also correct.
South Dakota.
Incorrect.
Ooh.
Do I win it all if I get one?
Sure.
Well, you keep going. We'll
Montana.
that is correct.
Hawaii.
That is incorrect. We have one download from Hawaii.
Chance to take a two guess lead here. See?
All right, Christy, you're up.
Idaho.
That is also correct.
Michigan.
That is incorrect. We have 5 downloads from Michigan.
Puerto Rico.
We don't have any downloads, but I'm just sticking with states for now.
So we are
yeah,
not counting Puerto
yeah.
Rico. Sorry, I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
I did say that.
Alabama.
Incorrect. We have
Oh,
5 downloads from Alabama.
I'll go with Arkansas.
Arkansas. That is correct.
All
Paul's
right,
on the
you're up
board.
by one now, see.
Yeah,
Mississippi.
that is correct.
All right, so that's 6.
So there's still one more out there.
So I can't catch you. I'll guess New Mexico.
That is correct, Paul.
Wow, well
What a
done.
clutch finish.
Yeah,
So
finish strong on that.
4-3. Good job. Yeah. So I know somebody in New Mexico, and they have not downloaded our podcast yet. I want to shoot him a text.
Dear sir, maybe he
Dear
used the VPN.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's doing. All right, real quick, let's go to a little bit farther afield. Let's go with the world here. So obviously most downloads here in the US. Let's go let's do top 10. So 10. So US is number 1. So what do you guys think in terms of our
This is
top
a little
10?
unfair because I actually do know one of them.
I've talked about this too. So
Yeah, I guess. But shall I go or you want to go, Paul?
Outside Canada.
Canada is correct. That's our second place. So US is first, Canada is second.
Ukraine.
Ukraine is correct.
Mm-hmm.
They're seventh.
I'm going to go Venezuela.
That is incorrect. No Venezuela. At least not top 10. We do have Venezuela, I believe, though. No, we do not have a download from Venezuela.
That's actually kind of surprising to me.
Russia.
That is also correct. Russia is in fourth place.
England.
United Kingdom in fifth place.
I'm out of countries.
I'll say some of these I'm very proud of that we are on this, that they are on this list.
Denmark.
Good guess, not top 10.
Germany.
That is correct. Germany comes in number 8.
How many are left in the top 10?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 left.
Brazil.
Correct. Brazil. Number 3.
Well, when Martinez went down there, that helped.
There we
probably.
go. Yeah.
I'm going to say Switzerland.
Not top 10. We do have some
Okay.
downloads from Switzerland, but not top.
Mexico.
Mexico is that's the 10th. So we got 2 left to go.
Jamaica.
Good guess. Not on our top 10.
Did we say Germany already?
We did
Yes.
say Germany.
Okay, so then Norway.
Incorrect. So I'm going to take a couple more and then we'll just kind of.
I think you might just
Yeah.
have to tell us.
One of
Yeah.
them, I'll be really surprised if you got. Do you want me to just give you the answers?
Yeah. That's,
I'm up to joke answers like San Marino now. So
Gotcha.
Monaco.
Although that would not have been that strange of a guess, San Marino. But so
What is it?
number 9, ninth place is Ireland, and then 6th place is Hong Kong.
Hong
So,
Kong, really?
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then the last question I'll give you guys is, which episode is our most downloaded episode?
I'm going to say the rematch episode or the game episode with Mel and Jim.
The first time they were on?
No, the one where after the St. Louis game this year.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to say the first time Mel and Jim were on when they told us the story of their honeymoon and going to Lake Como.
We have a large family.
Hmm.
So the episode with our most downloads is actually from season 1, episode 24.
Really?
Every day it's getting closer. And that was the one where this is when Gazdag was in his like PK scoring zone.
Right.
The Women's World Cup was going on.
Oh.
And as we had the idea about Blake actually has a secret plan to try to play in Europe.
Interesting. I wonder why that would be.
Yeah.
Why that episode in particular.
So there we go. So that's just some numbers there where
Very
we've
cool.
been
Awesome.
and hopefully where we're going.
Okay, well, I think we'll wrap up. Just wanted to see if you guys had any favorite moments for a moment from the first 100 episodes, and anything you're looking forward to as we go into our next century.
Is this other than the Christmas special with the Ali Bedoya message on it?
No,
We
I
could
don't think
also,
there's anything been left off the table.
Yeah, although I do feel like that's sort of enshrined in amber and set up on a pedestal now. But
I think for me, kind of, what's bubbling into the top of my head right now, generally I really enjoyed the fact that we've done these interviews with people. And in particular, I want to go with the first interview with Alyssa Radu from the Philadelphia Union Foundation,
right.
because I still remember just season one, we hit our goal of our downloads and we made the donation to the foundation, and that was it. Fine. And then we get that email back from them. It was like a delayed response, and I guess they try to acknowledge when people make a donation, and they just apologize that it took a little bit longer. I was like, oh, no worries. And I kind of just filled the person in with like the whole thought behind it, and just like, we have this podcast and da 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 da. And then like within an hour or so, they reply. There's more people CC'd on it. Like Alyssa's name was on there. There was a couple other people, and like, oh, this is great, and you know, if you ever want us to come on, we'd love to come on the podcast and talk about the foundation. And that was like those first like, in a good way, it's like a oh shit moment where it's like, like it started. That's when it really started to feel like, man, we are actually starting to turn into a real podcast here.
Yeah.
So, and then just having Alyssa on was just awesome. It was like
Yeah.
the first time we got to wade into that part of the swimming pool. So,
She was a great guest.
yeah, and she was just
Yeah.
awesome. So, I'll say that was one of my favorite um, parts of the first 100.
Yeah, I think that was great. Alyssa's a wonderful guest, and what they do at the Union Foundation is awesome. I think in the vein of what I look at for this out of this podcast was, when Jim Curtin got let go, and we had that kind of wasn't the whole episode, but it was a large part of the episode where we kind of got to say goodbye to him, to our, whether or not he ever heard it, we got to record it. We kind of had that curtain send off. That was definitely one of those situations where a pain shared is a pain divided kind of a deal. And it was also nice. But then, also just to throw it out there as a proud papa moment, anytime I get to record Nate and Noel's voices at this age is always awesome. So not having that for posterity is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
That's very true.
What do you think, Christy? What do you got?
I don't know that I can. It's funny because I texted you guys earlier and said think of a moment, and I can't narrow it down to one myself. So hypocritical, but
just
I
pick one with the disclaimer that you might think of a better one.
pick one with a disclaimer. So I'll have a different one for 200. No, but I think I enjoyed having our friend Mark on, who's a Red Bulls fan. Another interview. But I just kind of felt like it's something you don't always see or hear, I guess. Have someone on to kind of actually talk about what the rivalry is and isn't, and from both sides, and be so cordial about it. I mean, of all the various rivalries we have, that's definitely the most pronounced.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed. I mean, it was an excuse for me to kind of reunite with someone I hadn't talked to in a long time too. So it's a little bit self-serving in that self-service in that, I guess. But I was glad that we could offer that to the Unionverse because I think it's a perspective that's not often seen. So
Yeah.
I was kind of proud of that contribution on our parts. So.
As far as talking for, people who don't normally get to talk to, we talked to a raccoon.
This is true.
That
Good
was
reminder.
That's one of the other ones I wrote down when we got to interview the raccoon.
Yep.
Talk about amorephillyunion. People know who that was.
I don't know if we ever actually said who that was.
Should we do the reveal of who that was?
I think it's time for the 100th episode, the big reveal.
Finally, if you've been wondering all this time, who was Rocky the Raccoon? It really was a raccoon. His name was Rocky. But It was played by our youngest brother, Chuck, which he had us absolutely in stitches. I, it was
With
so hard.
about 10 minutes of notice, we said,
Yeah.
hey, this thing happened. Actually, you did this, Eric, I guess.
Yeah, we were watching the game when the raccoon and I was texting another friend of mine and they just asked, so is the raccoon going to be on the pod? I'm like, that is a great idea. And like, who would do it? And we're like, oh, we got to ask Chuck. So I shoot Chuck. I'm like, hey, you want to be on the podcast? We need for you to play a raccoon. And he's like, sure.
I honestly thought he'd be on for like 2 minutes. We ended up going 45 or something like that.
Easily.
Arguably one of the longest interviews we've had on this podcast.
Yeah, and he did research too, which
Yeah.
was hysterical. Like
Yeah, he did.
he knew what was going on. He
Yeah.
had watched the tape, as it were, and yeah,
He
it's
knew the
pretty
name
impressive.
of the pest control people that
Yeah.
took the raccoon away. And
Yeah, he had it all.
oh man.
I had to mute my microphone many times because I was laughing too hard.
Yeah, that
So,
was all off his dome too. So that
off the
was
dome.
that was
Yeah, family not short on personality, that's for
Yeah.
sure. All right. Well, I think here's to 100 more.
100 more.
100
That's
more.
where we are.
Yeah, and thanks everyone.
And yeah, thanks again. So if you've made it this far, please check out our website at amorephillyunion.com.
Hopefully we'll have the link for the shop up soon. If not,
Yep.
Chris, you're going to probably get that out in socials.
Yeah, I will be adding, I'm not going to announce a link right now, but we will
Yeah.
be adding it to all the things that I do mention. So you can send us your questions via email on social or on socials, especially Insta, and we'll be sure to read them, respond to them, include them as it warrants on the pod. So you can email pod@amorephillyunion.com, on Instagram, YouTube, Threads, and Blue Sky. We are Amorephilly Union. And we have a Spotify playlist, also under Amorephilly Union, but it's a playlist and it has music notes. That's the difference. Music notes in the logo, look for that. And those songs that are pulled mostly from our Instagram. We're a little wild with our Instagram posts, but please enjoy that playlist. You can download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you get yours, all the podcatchers everywhere. And while you're at it, since we mentioned the Philadelphia Union Foundation, please check them out at philadelphiaunionfoundation.org. And if you can, please support the good work that they're doing in Chester and beyond. So thanks everyone for tuning in for our 100th episode of Amorephilly Union.
Yay!
Yay! Woo! We are your hosts. I'm C.
I'm E.
And I'm Paul. Go.
Union.
Go ahead, Christy.
I stepped on your joke.
No, it's okay.
I didn't mean to at all. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. And it was a good one too.
Yeah, that's all right.
We got the stinger for the episode.
Yeah.